What is up, guys? Jimmy here with another Lots Games video. I'm super excited. A lot of you guys know the other day I uploaded a video talking about how I was able to get a PlayStation 4. The magic is back. I'm super happy. I've been loving that system so much. It's already been, the core system came out November 2013, so it's already been like a little over 3 years. So much has happened in the last 3 years. It really is unbelievable. Like, you've got this, think about it. If you're like, for those of you that got this system when it came out and you've had it for a little over 3 years, thinking about all the great stuff that's come out on the PS4 in the past 3 years. So I'm super happy to be able to get that system again, after that my original one got taken in the fires. So now that I've got my PS4 again, I've got a brand new PS4, one that has not been touched by any fire. And so I wanted to share with you guys the 10 games, the first 10 games that I'm going to be installing onto my PS4. So let's go ahead and get started with the first one, a PS4 exclusive that actually came out this year, and that is Horizon Zero Dawn. Now, when this game was released, it hadn't actually been out for that long, I went up to Washington to do a few videos with Metal Jesus, and I remember this is one of the games he was super into, and he had his 4K TV, and I think he had just gotten PS4 Pro. I think actually it was in March he got a PS4 Pro, I believe, and he had Horizon Zero Dawn. The game looked incredible on his 4K TV. I'm like, holy cow, this looks unbelievable. And believe it or not, guys, my time with this one has been very, very, very limited. So I'm super excited to finally dive right in, play this one. No excuses. Get this one completed as quickly as possible, because what I've heard from you guys is definitely a game that's something that's truly special, and one that's definitely worth your time, and certainly worth picking up if you have a PS4 console. Okay, next up is another PlayStation 4 exclusive, and one of you guys actually sent me the collector's edition. This is the steelbook case that was inside the collector's edition. Uncharted 4, see if you guys can see that. Pretty cool steelbook case. Really just awesome, of course, exclusive by Naughty Dog. And a lot of people, of course, their eyes right now are on The Last of Us Part 2. But if you have a PS4, and I've talked about this before, if you have a PS4, this is one that you definitely need to add to your collection. And Uncharted 4, the great news is it's not $50, it's not $60. If you're in the States, you can pick it up for around $20 or $20 or less. And if you're into high quality third-person shooters with lots of action, high quality voice acting, definitely check this one out. If it's definitely a must-buy if you have a PS4. So that's the next one I'm going to be installing onto my PS4. Next up is one that is one of my favorite series, I would actually say my favorite series of all time as a whole, that I have just great memories of, the Ys series, and that's YZ8 Lacrimosa of Dana. The cool thing about this one, I played it when it got released, and I really, really enjoyed it. My time with it was limited. Of course, I had the collector's edition, it was taken in the fires. The cool thing about this whole story was, I had the collector's edition, and NIS America, the ones that published it in the States, they found out about how my collector's edition was burned in the fire, and they actually reached out to me and say, hey, Jimmy, we want to send you YZ8. Unfortunately, all our collector editions are sold out that we sold, but we do have the day one editions available for the PS4. We're going to send you one. And then they actually sent me a collector's edition for the game for the Vita, which had everything in the collector's edition for the PS4, except it just had the Vita game. So now, not only do I have the game on the PS4, I also have it on the PS Vita. So huge thank you to NIS America for sending this game in a series. Is my favorite series of all time. Just the music, the awesome adventures, the fast-paced action. Did I say storytelling? The great storytelling. I love the Ys series. So YZ8, definitely will be putting that one on my PS4 system. Okay, next up, definitely one of my favorite exclusives on the PS4. I did a review for this one when it was released, and that is Bloodborne. Of course, and now they always say if you played Dark Souls, super challenging game, you'll love, and if you love that, you'll definitely love Bloodborne. And some people actually, you know, either I've heard of even people that maybe didn't really care too much for some of the Dark Souls games, but actually really enjoyed the gameplay and the setting of Bloodborne. A great exclusive. Even though I played through this one from beginning to end, even you know, played even more of it, this is one I could definitely see myself going through and playing again. You know, those games out there. As a kid, there were games, of course, I played over and over again. I can't really do that so much anymore because there's just so many games out there and a lot of them are on the cheap, but Bloodborne is definitely one I could see myself playing through again. Okay, next up is one that actually I have never played before, and that is Diablo III Ultimate Evil Edition. And a lot of you guys that have played this have told me, said, Jimmy, you got to play this one. It's a fantastic game. Of course, it's on the PC and it's also on the Xbox One. I think it was also on the PS3 and Xbox 360, but on the PS4, a lot of you guys said, Jimmy, this game's fantastic. You need to check it out. It's wonderful. So I'm definitely excited about playing this one. Super happy about that. Okay, next up is another game that I did a review for and loved, although it's very short. Super excited to put it on my PS4 again and play it again. And that's Transformers Devastation. For those of you guys that don't know, Transformers Devastation was made by the folks at Platinum Games. And yeah, it's pretty short. You can beat it in like, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours. But it is quite the ride. You should be able to pick it up on the cheap now. And it is amazing. The gameplay mechanics are so much fun. They're so over the top. You're just in these crazy epic battles. There's 5 playable characters, and the combos in the game are ridiculously fun. If you were a fan of the games from Platinum Games, like whether it's Vanquish or Bayonetta, where just some of the action is just so crazy, you have those moments in Transformers Devastation. I really hope Platinum Games does another Transformers game in the near future, but that's an awesome one. Okay, next up, now of course, those were bigger. The games I just talked about with you guys were bigger budget titles. I'm going to talk about more after this one, but I definitely had to talk about this next one. It's actually 2 indie games, and that is Inside and Limbo. Mainly why I wanted to bring these 2 up, this 2-pack I recently received from one of you guys. Inside, actually, if you go to Metacritic.com, and if you look up the highest rated PlayStation 4 games of all time, highest rated games, Inside is actually one of the highest rated games. I think it still might be in the top 10 of highest rated PS4 games out there. Just very loved. And also, of course, Limbo is a game that scored very well with reviewers and gamers as well. So I'm super excited to play through these ones on my PS4 and install that one. Okay, next up is a game that's been out for a very long time. It's been released on a whole lot of systems. Of course, it was released on the PS4 and lots of people picked it up. And that is Resident Evil 4. I first played this one on the Nintendo GameCube, but I also played it on the PS2. They had like a HD release also on Steam that a lot of people really liked. I'm super excited to put that one on my PlayStation 4. Okay, now we have an RPG, open world RPG, and that is Dragon Age Inquisition. This game looks beautiful. I've talked about this one. I've recommended it on an episode of Super Cheap Games and other videos I've done. I've recommended this game to you guys. You can pick this one up on the cheap. This is a fantastic RPG. Most people that play this one really did love it. It's epic in scope. It's not one that you're not... This is one, it's not like Transformers Devastation. We'll be able to beat it in 4 or 5 hours. It's going to take a little longer than that, but definitely one that's worth your time if you are a fan of open world RPGs. And certainly worth your time. It looks and plays great on the PS4. Definitely check that one out. Okay, So the final game to go over with you guys, the last game of these 10 that I'm going to be installing on my PS4. The first 10 PS4 games I'm going to be installing on my PlayStation 4 console is Tokyo 42. The folks, of course, at Strictly Limited, they sent this over to me from Germany. This is a game that they only made, I think, around 2,600 copies, I believe, of Tokyo 42. It is an open world isometric shooter, and where you refrain from murder, you didn't commit, and you have to delve into the world of assassins and deadly intrigue. And it is a really detailed open world. I first actually became familiar with this one on Steam, and it is now available on the PlayStation 4. So super excited to put that one on my PS4 console. So there you go, guys. The first 10 PS4 games I'm going to install on my system. Let me know in the comment section below what games you guys think I should be checking out in the near future for the system. There's lots of great games for the PS4, and 2018 looks to be an amazing year. I know I keep saying that, but I really am looking forward to 2018. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll talk to you later.